This is Helping Cinderella through the Humanistic Approach. Our story picks up with Cinderella having lost all hope of going to the royal ball. Cinderella cries alone on a bench in the garden while contemplating that there's no use anymore and there's nothing left to believe in. Then poof! Cinderella's fairy godmother appears next to her on the bench. Cinderella, nothing left to believe in? Surely that isn't true, my dear. Come now, share with me what has happened to make you feel this way. Cinderella begins her story. After we received the invitation to the royal ball, my stepsisters tried to get my stepmother to not let me go. But I pointed out that the invitation says all available beings are to attend, to which my stepmother told me if I got all of my chores done and found something suitable to wear, I could go to the royal ball. But my stepmother and sisters have made it impossible for me to go. Cinderella, I'm proud of you for standing up for what you wanted and your privilege to go to the ball. Can you give me some examples of how your stepmother and sisters have made it impossible for you to go to the ball? Well, says Cinderella, I tried to start on my dress for the ball using one of my mother's old dresses, and as usual, I was summoned by all three of them. I received a list of things to do on top of the daily chores I already had to finish to be able to go to the ball. Then, when they were all ready and leaving for the ball, I tried to go with them in the dress that my animal friends had fixed up for me. This ended with my stepsisters calling me a thief and ruining my dress. How did this extra amount of work make you feel? Said her fairy godmother. I felt like I didn't matter, and that I was again not really part of the family, just a servant, said Cinderella. Do you believe that you matter? Sometimes I do, said Cinderella. Well, who do you matter to? My parents, when they were alive, I mattered to them. I do think I matter sometimes to my stepmother, because she has allowed me to stay here after my father passed away. Anyone else? I guess I matter to the animal that I take care of. I agree, said her fairy godmother. If it wasn't for you, who would take care of them? And don't forget me, Cinderella, says her fairy godmother. You matter to me, and that's why I'm here. You're a sweet young lady that has a big, compassionate heart. You care for those around you, and without complaint, take care of them. You're right, fairy godmother. I do matter. Yes, my dear, you do. Now remember, we cannot always choose our family, but we can choose how we respond to their actions and how much we allow their actions to affect our feelings about ourselves. For example, you stated that your stepsisters called you a thief, but that isn't true. No, it isn't, said Cinderella, and it made me feel sad that someone would call me that. Cinderella, it's okay to be sad, mad, etc. for a short time. But just as you stood up for yourself after receiving the invitation to go to the ball, you do the same now. You know the truth, and that's what you live out. Now let's look at your current situation again. Your stepmother said that you could go to the ball if you completed all of your chores and found something suitable to wear, right? Yes, that's what she said, Cinderella responded. Were you able to complete all of your chores? Cinderella takes a moment to think through her list. I completed all but one, she responds. Do you believe that you can get this one done in time to make it for some of the ball? Says her fairy godmother. Yes, I do, but even then I still don't have anything to wear because my stepsisters ruined my dress. Let's take one problem at a time, says her fairy godmother. Cinderella hurries into the house to finish her one final chore. When she finished, she ran back out into the garden to find her fairy godmother accompanied by a horse and carriage. What's this? Cinderella exclaimed. "This is your horse and carriage for the night," says her fairy godmother. Thank you, says Cinderella. "Now then, for your dress, Cinderella. What can we do about your dress?" Cinderella remembered some fabric she found with her mother's old dress. Cinderella runs into the house and gets the fabric. With a little fairy godmother magic and Cinderella's belief in herself, they had a gorgeous dress made with a flick of a wand. This dress was more beautiful than the first one. "Okay, my dear," says her fairy godmother, "is there anything else that's troubling you?" "Well, I'm nervous about my stepmother's response to me showing up at the ball." "It's okay to feel that way, but you did as she asked. You completed all of your chores and found something suitable to wear. So, you can stand confident in that truth." Cinderella, with her newfound hope in herself and dream to attend the ball, climbs into the carriage and heads to the royal ball, where she meets the prince, falls in love, and lives happily ever after.